I'm here very simply to say that we're about to vote on the Child Care Development Block Grant, a piece of legislation that will provide assistance to 1.5 million children when their mothers, usually, are going to school in order to get a job or working. I've repeated on this floor several times the story of a young woman in Memphis, Tennessee, who attended Lamar College, and who, while she was there, would receive about $500 or $600 a month to pay for daycare for her child so she could get a degree. She got her degree, a business degree. She's now assistant manager at Walmart. She has another child, and she's able to pay for the daycare costs herself. This bill has strong support on both sides of the aisle, but we Republicans especially like it because, number one, it is a block grant to the states, which gives states flexibility with a minimum number of federal rules, and then it includes vouchers for the young woman, the young mother I mentioned, so she may choose among her various options for child care. It's exactly the kind of legislating that we ought to be doing in the internet age, although this legislation was created 20 years ago in the first place, before anyone paid much attention to the internet. It doesn't mandate from Washington, it enables from Washington. And it recognizes that states actually have very good judgment themselves. And what might work in Hawaii might not in Tennessee or might not in Iowa, and different programs may work better in different jurisdictions, and that mothers themselves, when they're choosing daycare, ought to be able to make that judgment. I want to thank Senator Harkin, who's retiring this year, and who's chairman of the committee that has produced this bill. He and Senator Mikulski and Senator Burr from North Carolina have worked literally for years on this piece of legislation. It's had a model consideration in the Senate and the House. It's been through the committees. We talk about that a lot on the Senate floor. We'd like to see the Senate function better. It did function well here. When we brought this up in March, there were 50 amendments. There was no objection to moving to the bill. The majority leader didn't fill the tree. He didn't file cloture. We stood down there and considered all 50 of those amendments, adopted 18 of them, I believe. 14 of them we agreed to adopt by voice vote. 4 of them we voted on. And then we passed the bill by a large margin. The House made a few minor changes in it. They did it consulting with Senator Harkin and me and others who've been working on the bill, and we've come to this point today. So this is a very important piece of legislation. 900,000 families, 1.5 million children. In Tennessee alone, 21,000 families will be helped by this. Help to find a place for the child while the mom works, so the mom can get a better job, or so the mom can work. In our society today, worksite daycare is not available to every single mother or father who has a child, and this helps with that. So I thank the Senate for its consideration of this. I thank the House for working with us. I congratulate Senator Harkin. I imagine he's mentioned it, but if he hasn't, this will be the 21st piece of legislation that the Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee has produced this year that will become law under his leadership. And as he goes back to Des Moines, Iowa, and rocks on his front porch or goes into the next chapter of his life, which I'm sure will be an exciting and useful one, he can know that in a Senate which didn't always work that well in this Congress, that his committee did. And it's benefited lots of families and lots of children. So I urge my colleagues to vote yes on the bill, and I'm glad to see it as a good example of what I hope to see more of as we move into the new year. Thank you, Madam Chairman. I yield the floor.